You see? I told you she was a witch!
Hearing that your favorite book is being turned into a movie can either be the best news in the world or the worst.
Everybody out!
More often than not, it's the latter.
Out of my apartment!
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 worst book-to-film adaptations.
We are going to explode the bomb! It will be a fantastic explosion!
For this list, we've focused on critically acclaimed or fan-favorite books that were adapted to the screen in order to capitalize on their success, but which resulted in disappointing or flat-out bad movies. We've excluded Stephenie Meyer's Twilight and similar entries that we didn't actually expect to be any good.
Like I care, you know?
Number 10, Gulliver's Travels.
Okay, we're kissing. Oh, gentler.
Published in 1726 by Jonathan Swift, this novel is a parody of society's rules in the popular travel writing genre, and it became an instant classic. This movie, not so much.
Oh no, that looks painful.
Casting Jack Black as a lead is always a gamble, and this time it didn't pay off.
Hey, that's my pants. That's not funny. Hey, back.
Unlucky.
Black relied on potty humor and 3D effects to carry the movie. Instead of being a tongue-in-cheek jab at society like the book, the 2010 film left audiences feeling like the joke was being played on them.
Wow! Yeah! What is it good for?
Absolutely not!
Say it again, y'all!
Number 9, The Time Traveler's Wife.
I have fits. I disappear. I travel through time.
This was Audrey Niffenegger's debut novel about a time traveler who involuntarily jumps around in time, where he meets his future wife at different points in her life.
Prove you're from the future.
As you can imagine, the book is complex, heartbreaking, and woven with rich language and metaphors. But the on-screen version falls flat.
Pity. It was our one shared enthusiasm.
The movie manages to leave out many of the book's smaller, interesting characters, and it's a confusing watch for those who haven't read the novel. But hey, at least the leads are attractive. Number 8, Captain Corelli's Mandolin.
We refuse to surrender to a nation that we have defeated in Albania, so f*** off.
Not known for his skill with accents, Nicolas Cage isn't the most obvious choice to portray a Greek-speaking Italian soldier. But here we are.
I was just about to start.
Louis de Bernières's book is a sweeping romance and historical tale of a Greek island that's under occupation by the Italians and Germans in World War II. While the cinematography in the film is beautiful, the movie fails to explain the history correctly, and the attraction between Cage and Penelope Cruz just isn't there.
Bella Bambina, 2 o'clock! Attention! Yes!
Also, that accent.
Captain Antonio Corelli, 33rd Regiment Artillery, reporting for duty!
Is everything a joke to you?
No.
Number 7, The Bonfire of the Vanities.
Another word out of you, Pollard, and you'll have an unacceptable situation right up your ass.
Tom Wolfe is one of the 20th century's most celebrated American writers, but this movie isn't a calling card for his work.
It has its funny side, but it isn't fun.
With A-list actors cast and Brian De Palma directing, Wolfe's story of greed, race, and politics should have been a success. But it was a major, major flop.
I mean, is that the best you can do?
The film sanitized the intensity and grittiness of the novel and focused too much on making the characters more likable.
Let me explain something to you.
Recently, Morgan Freeman stated that this movie was the one major nightmare of his career. Ouch.
I think when I was in jail, I pissed in my pants.
Number 6, The Scarlet Letter.
Do you carry a bastard child in your womb?
Many high school curricula now include Nathaniel Hawthorne's classic tale of double standards and intolerance.
If you do not speak out the name, you must wear upon your bodice this symbol of your sinful fornication.
But its 1995 movie adaptation is far from a must-see. This version is a prime example of what happens when Hollywood tries to make source material sexier.
I look forward to the hard work, Governor. As we read in Psalms 92, I will triumph in the works of thy hands.
It's pretty tough to take Demi Moore seriously as a Puritan woman, but audiences' biggest quarrel with the film was its dramatically altered ending. No wonder it holds a 14% on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 5. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I'm an immortal, sir, not a gazelle. How can we outrun this?
Alan Moore is pretty much the god of graphic novels, so it isn't a surprise that he distanced himself from this weak adaptation.
Any more like me, and I'll lose the franchise.
His graphic novel tells the story of a group of exceptional people who come together to defend the British Empire, while the movie is merely a grouping of random action sequences.
I walk a different path.
The screen adaptation lacks any real character development, and its credibility suffered as a result. Not even Sean Connery could save this one.
That I know, and Nigel has done a grand job reminding me.
Well, you're not a bird.
Number 4. Eragon. When the plot revolves around a boy who learns to tame dragons, it should be easy to create movie magic.
Is that right?
But something was lost in translation between page and screen.
There were complications.
Yes, so I've heard.
With its iffy pacing, the film adaptation of the Christopher Paolini novel lags on with no direction, often giving the impression it's trying to be the next Lord of the Rings franchise.
1 part brave, 3 parts fool.
Unfortunately for Eragon, however, it lacks the intimate relationships of J.R.R. Tolkien's series and brings nothing new to the screen. Number 3. The Cat in the Hat. This is one of the most beloved children's classics ever, but let's face it, there's not much of a story there. Dr. Seuss's book is full of his trademark illustrations and rhymes.
I got nothing. I'm not so good with the rhyming. Not really, no.
The film, on the other hand, fills in the story's blanks by making up some ridiculous plot points and adding potty humor and sexual innuendo into a children's story.
Let's take a look under the hood. Where's my dad?
Between this and How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Seuss's widow vowed there would be no more live-action adaptations of his work.
I don't like you either.
Number 2. The Golden Compass.
There are some things that we best ignore, subjects that you never speak about.
What made this children's series so good was the fact that author Philip Pullman trusted the intelligence of his audience.
That is the truth.
His book is a fantastical epic about a girl growing up in a world where free will is suppressed. Though the source material had strong anti-religious undertones, the film glosses over its complexities to avoid upsetting viewers, resulting in an action film with no story and tons of special effects. The effects were the film's only high point, winning it an Oscar and a BAFTA.
Is that all?
Before we uncover our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Surely such a travesty has never occurred.
What are we but dirt blowed off the hands of God Almighty? You and me and George Washington.
Do you have a boyfriend?
Oh? I knew it, see? I knew you weren't like those other girls.
What does they found Beeblebrock's treasure?
Come on. Oh no.
Oh my God.
Number 1. Dune.
I know.
Sometimes a book's plot is just too complex to be turned into a feature, and that was the case with this Frank Herbert adaptation.
You've done a very good job.
His book is a sci-fi classic that tells the story of a young man whose fate is to free his people from the evil House Harkonnen family. A lot of the key points are there, but David Lynch's movie version is hard to follow and became a box office bomb, not earning back its $40 million budget. Do you agree with our list?
Yeah!
Which adaptation disappointed you the most? For more fan-approved top 10s published daily, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
I just want your extra time and your kiss.